Hello there, beautiful internet and amazing creatures of the beyond. So I have finished the animation, which looks something like this. Not spectacular by any means, but it is interesting. I had a lot of fun doing it, and I'll explain my thought process and all the tools involved. Maybe the smoke could have been done better, but I got a little bit lazy there. Anyway, let's by the by. So, let's focus on what actually has been happening. So, let's start with our character, which is over here. And we have our beautiful layers, and I have all the poses created in advance. So this is the starting pose and the ending pose. Then, oh, hello there, Hakis. Hakisim. My eyesight isn't what it used to be 1,000 years ago. Then we have the secondary and the penultimum pose, because I'm trying to just make a loop, sort of. Then we have the charging of the weapon, and then the recoil. And then it returns to 4 and 5. So this is the basics of the animation. But after I have finished all of this, I have exported them as PNGs. And then I have moved. Well, actually, before we go there, I have done a few extra things. So, for example, when we go to, here, when we go to pose 1, we see that the hand is sitting like just in pose 0. So it's going like this, but then when we move from 1 to 2, I have changed the position of the finger and of the trigger to show that it's moving, and of the big thumb to move a little bit forward to show that it's gripping harder. These are small details. They're not noticeable, but in the big picture, they can make a difference. And sometimes it doesn't load everything. And when he pulls the trigger, this starts to light up. So then when we move to this, we're releasing over there, but it's not very noticeable anyway. And then we're recovering back to pose to the standard pose, which is not charged, and then to the lower pose. So when I have done all of this, then I have went to create the projectile. And with the projectile, there were quite a lot of challenges along the way. And I had to do a few tricks. So basically, I did the normal border and then I filled it with the bucket. And then inside here, I have created a point. I don't know how to create a point without a surface in this software in VPaint. So this was the only way I could. So I made it really, really tiny. And then I have moved to this position and I have created this bigger circle. But what I have done, and this is important, you have to do it open initially. Sort of like this. Oops. Sorry. Sort of like this, in order for you to have these two anchor points and then combine them. So there is one here. I could have added that afterwards, but I wanted to keep it right where this intersection happens. I don't know, it looks a little bit weird because if you do it just like this, it does not add an anchor point, which is kind of weird. Anyway, so and this is because when you're doing the transformation from this point to this line, this well, curvature, yeah, circular curvature, uh, it's it needs that point for some reason to work correctly. So it creates the circle like this. And I did not find the correct way to transition the surfaces, so I had to redo them manually after the thing was done. I just basically used a thicker curve, a thicker line. And from here, I have transformed it into this shape a little bit to the right. Yeah, this has a lot of artifacts inside of it. Don't mind it. Then it's prolonging, going forward, and bam. To be honest, it is a very fast way to animate. I really enjoyed doing this, although I still had a few hiccups, let's call them, but it did work, and it did work quite well. I would have done the smoke as well in here, but the problem is that I wanted to make the smoke a little blurry and to give it a bit more aesthetical look. So since I couldn't do it in here, well, I could have done all of this directly into Inkscape, but it would have taken a little longer time. And after I was done with this, I moved to the complicated part, which is Krita. Oh my god, Krita is killing me. There's like a lot of tools that I wish there would be here, like smudge and blur and things like that you find in other softwares. But anyway, I get it. It's just a painting thing. But it was the only one that I thought it would be useful to make the animation because when you're finished with the animation, you have to go to File and then you have the render animation and then you set up the settings over here. I set it on video. You can do it whatever you want, GIF or WebBP or whatever. But you need the FFmpeg. You have to download this separately and then point to it from over here. It's free. Nothing. Everything here is free. So after that, I have exported it. I've done it with 30 frames. Basically, each of these frames, each of these pose has 5 frames, and then they disappear. To add a frame, you use this button. I mean, to the ending of a frame, and then you just move them around, and so on and so forth. And then when you play it, it goes like this. It looks pretty cool. And the only thing that I have done here extra is this. So when you get to the part, so before this, it's when we create. So the first thing is we have the point over here, which is, maybe I shouldn't have even added it, but whatever. I just wanted to have a reference where to know that it's growing, so I can just maybe even remove this one if I really want to. But whatever, let's leave it like it's not noticeable. So when we're moving to this, it's growing, and then I wanted to give a little bit of a pause here between the projectile firing. So there is a bit of a lag like this, you see? So it gives that impact that the gun goes up afterwards. So it creates the tension and then it releases. And of course, it matches up with the lighting over the weapon. As I said, the smoke could have been done better. Like I could have started the smoke somewhere here, and then gradually make it swirl upwards and dissipate when I reach back like this. But yeah, I skipped on that. And then well, this is just a generic image I created with Easy Diffusion, so nothing too crazy. And then for the shadow, well, I almost ate my keyboard while trying to create the shadow with Krita. It's just such a pain. It breaks my heart trying to create things with Krita. I don't know. I'm really not used to work with Krita and creating these things. Although it's not meant to work the way I set it up, although it does. I like to hack tools. But the point is, like, the animation here is meant to be used with animation curves to create all of these poses, and then um, you want to create everything in a continuous motion based on layering, onion layering, using specific parts of your layers, and just drawing things bit by bit. And you can even draw them live action somehow. I don't know how to explain it. There are tutorials for that, but it's really cool. Anyway, it worked for the purpose that I wanted, and I'm really happy with how it ended up. I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I loved working on it. I'll upload it on G Drive so you guys can download it and do whatever you wish with it. I'll upload all of the other files from the other software, and well, that's it. You guys stay awesome. I'll catch you next time. Bye 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 bye.